as an assistant coach in college was here at BC, 1991 to 1993. Enjoyed her experience here, had fond memories of it, including fond memories watching hockey here at Conti Forum. And there is Coach Mack, who feels like, maybe we turned a corner, but there's some stuff to gain out of these last two games. Build some confidence out of those last two games that really has a chance to propel this team, and there's a good start for the Eagles.
Look, when you go on the road and you beat NC State, that has been something few teams in recent seasons have been able to accomplish. Then you back it up, beat a Florida State team that had come into that one 15-2. One of the best weeks Boston College has had in a very long time.
First top 10 win for Boston College since 2010, beating number 9 NC State. There's an offensive rebound, and that is going to be a big factor in this game. Syracuse did not get the second chance point, but the Orange were really good on the boards against Clemson. They're one of the better rebounding teams in the ACC. BC's one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the ACC.
Yeah, we showed you how Tavia Wagner averaged a double-double last week. Dariauna Lewis, who missed that putback. See Daly get blocked, but Lewis, she averages a double-double for Syracuse. Give possession back to the Orange after that held ball. Tough going on the interior early against that big front line. This is Andrea Daly meeting the resistance from Kyra Wood.
Pass for Lewis was too high. And Boston College possession going back the other way. Lewis, who you mentioned, transfer from Alabama A&M, where she was a three-time first-team HBCU All-American. Coach Jack said, I saw her in the transfer portal. I saw the numbers. I don't care where you're playing. If you can rebound like that, then you can do something. And she was second in the country in rebounds a couple of years ago.
And it's translated to the ACC early on. She's got 6 double-doubles with Syracuse. Is that zone defense Syracuse is going to sit in all day and force the turnover?
Yep, Lewis got it out in front and the foul.
Live ball turnovers often lead to runouts, and that's exactly the case. Nice finish there by the aforementioned Dariauna Lewis through the contact, and Dontavia Wagner's got an early personal foul.
Lewis is 70% free throw shooter this year. Makes it 3-2 Syracuse here in the early going.
And Eric, turnovers could be a big story. Syracuse, #1 in the ACC in getting steals. There's another one right there, 2 in a row. Boston College is going to have to really deal with a lot of pressure from that Orange defense. And sometimes holding on to the basketball has been problematic.
That's really the first time that Boston College has seen the defense that Syracuse is playing in the specific kind of zone. So an adjustment process early. Here's Woolley on the drive. Went back to the right hand and was short on the floater. Eagles in transition. Daly stops and gets the lay-in. Andrea Daly, who is inserted into the starting lineup 4 games into the season, it has made a world of difference for Boston College. Three-pointer, Woolley is too strong. But Wood has the offensive rebound for Syracuse. And Hyman walks into a wide-open 3.
Well, you said it earlier, they're going to get second opportunities. It's such a good offensive rebounding team, and that air ball by Woolley almost looked like a pass. Turned into a Hyman 3. She can really shoot from out there.
Lacey's shot was blocked. Gakdang, though, got it clean and traveled.
Maria Gakdang fouled out in that game late the 4th quarter. Boston College had to go to overtime and beat Florida State without her on Sunday. Take a look at the series. You could see dominance from Syracuse. In fact, before Boston College swept the 2 games last season, Syracuse had been 15-1 against BC since they joined the conference. Last year was a different story.
Syracuse still within the last decade making a national championship game run. Here is JoJo Lacey out in front off the turnover. So first 2 for Lacey, the junior.
Oh, we've seen those live ball turnovers leading to a run out for each side now. Boston College very good at turning its defense into offense. That's been a staple of Joanna Burnaby McNamee teams. Gacting a little overzealous there on the reach over the back. Just talked about it. She fouled out in that game on Sunday, and that's a player that coaching staff needs to be on the floor as often as possible.
And especially in a game like this where you have to figure rebounding is going to play a big part, and that one's just thrown away. It's Boston College ball. That's the second time that it's kind of just been a clean throwaway.
You can see Teisha Hyman, experienced point guard, just pointing to her chest. My bad. Miscommunication, obviously, there on that baseline underneath inbounds play.
.13 to shoot off the entrance. And a foul will go against the Cuse.
That's Gacting doing her work early. Oftentimes when you draw a foul like that, you really started the whole process before the pass was even thrown. She had established some great position. Getting a breather early is Maria Gacting, who's been a bit under the weather over the last week.
Teisha Hyman also checked out of the game. Here's Daly wide open. Missed on the three. Offensive rebound, though, goes to Allie Van Timmeren. First off the bench for Boston College. Wagner 9 to shoot. Van Timmeren got inside, trying to make a move, 1-on-2. Somehow it skipped down to Daly, who has 4.
Johnny on the spot there. Loose change, picked it up, knew what to do with it. Nice hands inside there. I think that was Daly on the other end of the court.
So another turnover, and that has certainly been a factor early. 4th turnover for Syracuse, now the 4th for Boston College. And a pull-up jumper is good. Alaina Rice, the senior in the game, started her career at Florida A&M, then at Auburn for a year before coming to Syracuse last year and sticking around through the coaching change.
Yeah, there weren't many who did. Alaina Rice, one of them, and Teisha Hyman, the other, of the significant contributors. That's really it. Came back from last year's team.
Wagner's pass deflected off the leg of Wood, and Syracuse is back on the run, and Rice has 2. 4 points in a row for Rice. JoJo Lacey trying to weave through, and that one was nearly turned over. Ends up in a held ball, which will keep possession with Boston College when we come back. A little bit of a sloppy start. 10-8 in favor of the Cuse.
And for the team, it just gives us like a push for it. It meant a lot to me. I felt like I proved myself against somebody who thought they thought that was better than me. And I feel like they kind of like recognize me now. So I feel like I kind of gain recognition for myself and also for my team.
I think it builds a lot of confidence for them and then in them, right? All of those awards and any award you get at this level is kind of like a team award. So Dontavia and both T sweeping those awards this week means a lot for our team and even for our coaching staff. It just brings a lot of positive morale to us.
Just an added layer of what really was an important week. And there's a great shot from Taina Mayer, who, it's hard to believe we're still talking about her first season here at Boston College and the responsibility of the only point guard on the roster.
Yeah, there's the freshman of the week, right on cue. I think those awards, it's just kind of validation, right, for a team. Yeah, they knew they had done some great things with those 2 wins. Baseline jump shot. Lewis showing a little bit of range there, stepping outside the paint. But when you get those wins and then you see the league honor you for doing it, kind of vindicates what you're accomplishing for BC, which is really exceeding any expectations that the outside world had for this team.
Lewis, 12 points in 3 of her last 4 games, so the shooting stroke has started to come along as this year has gone on. There's Wagner cleaning up off what could have been a turnover. And another held ball will give possession back to the Orange.
This jump shot has gotten better and better, it feels like, with just about every passing week for the freshman out of Boston. Watch this tie up here. Kind of sneaky by Dontavia, reaching underneath the legs. Without fouling, Syracuse had the arrow, but maybe that comes into play later on in the quarter.
Rice is good. What a start for Alaina Rice, 7 points.
30, a couple over her season's average. Syracuse isn't very deep, really, during their recent winning ways. They've only played about 2 off the bench.
Lacey to answer. JoJo Lacey, who's a 31% three-point shooter. Everybody chucking him up now. Woolley, no. Offensive rebound to the putback for Asia Strong.
That was kind of a 5-on-4, Eric, because after Lacey made the jump shot, she kind of came down awkwardly, and she was slow getting back into the play.
Mayer too strong on the corner 3. Ava McGee in the game for the first time for Boston College. And here is Fair on the run. And then a foul after the fact. After Dyaisha Fair, the senior from Rochester, made the 2. And the foul came after the fact, but not on the shot, so Syracuse will keep possession.
You don't see that call made very often. It's a loose ball foul against BC. And a chance to get a 4 or a 5-point possession here if you're Syracuse. And you can see when they're getting shots off, they're going in with regularity here in the quarter.
Orange have made 7 of their last 8 shots from the floor. High rainmaker, no good. And now BC on the run. There's such a line in these situations where we know Boston College likes to run and likes to get out in transition as Gacktang finishes. But if you speed up too much, Syracuse just waiting for you in terms of their ability to create turnovers.
Each team shooting in the high 50% range from the field, which is kind of what we're talking about. When they're getting shots off, they're making them. But the turnovers, as you say, they've been creeping up and up for each team. Right on cue. Add another one onto the Syracuse ledger.
It's now 5 on each team with 1:47 remaining here in the first quarter.
The way these teams each play defense, I don't think that's a surprise that you're seeing a lot of turnovers. Kind of what you'd expect coming into a game like this.
Pass for Gacktang was too high, and it was short of Wagner, which creates another steal. And then Mayer got it right back. And Wagner is all alone.
That was so good from Taina Mayer. Not only to get the steal, the creativity to throw that outlet pass. She just kind of threw it to a spot where she knew Dontavia Wagner was going to run to and catch it.
Fair, pull up with the right hand, no. Good effort from Dyaisha Fair, who played at Buffalo for Felicia Leggett-Jack and had a lot of offers, including some really high-profile schools, but decided to stick with Coach Jack and come to Syracuse as a transfer this year. And boy, she's had a wonderful year and is on possession with 40 seconds remaining in the first. Turnover again. Wagner, no. And then a loose ball with Rice coming in late, and the timer is off for Syracuse.
Coach McNamee for BC really wanted a foul on that shot.
Woolley down the lane and got it. First points for Woolley. BC late. Wagner got to get it up, and it's too strong.
Not her shot. Generally, when she's from that distance, not the best outside shooter. Well, we figured we'd see a lot of points coming off turnovers in this one, and that was indeed the case in the opening 10 minutes. How about Taina Mayer, one of the best in the game,
who are just out there all the time and are used to these grinded out kind of efforts.
There you see 3 of the top 10 in the ACC in minutes played per game. Taina Mayer, that rookie point guard for BC. She hardly ever comes off the court. Doesn't really have a backup. Wagner for BC and Dyaisha Fair. You can say the same as how integral she is to Syracuse. Fair was kind of quiet in that opening quarter, though. Just 2 points.
Teisha Hyman as well, who were stretches there, back into the game now for Coach Jack, but turned it over, which has been a theme here in the early going. We have had combined 15 turnovers between these two teams, and that is a foul against Syracuse, just the second foul of the game total, and first, obviously, of this new quarter.
Crafty move there from Dontavia Wagner. Watch her pivot. After she picks up her dribble. Nice to draw that contact from Dariauna Lewis. One thing about Boston College, when you look at that overtime win on Sunday against Florida State, they did that despite missing a ton of free throws in the extra session. They still were able to pull away and beat a really good team. They shot well below 50% from the charity stripe in an overtime period.
It's a team that's up to the third most free throw attempts in the ACC. They are getting to the line. They're trying to improve on that 66% free throw percentage. Van Timmeren open three. Off front iron, but an offensive rebound for Wagner, who lost it. Rice on the takeaway, and on the outlet, slapped away by Van Timmeren.
Good hustle back. 3-year sophomore missed the three-pointer. She had to get back to stop the fast break.
Doesn't count as an interception in the book, but you get a pass defended on it.
PBU, pass breakup right there. Getting ready for Super Wild Card Weekend.
Rice passed up the three and was fouled on the drive with a pass attempt over to Lewis.
Good call. We got Mayer. Going to be a little hip check here. Watch Saina Mayer here. More of a hand check than a hip check, but still the right call there by the officials.
First foul on Mayer. Into the backcourt for Dyaisha Fair. On the drive and the pull-up, and Fair has 4 points.
Yeah, she's really good there in the mid-range. You got to score from all three levels if you're going to average 20 points a game in a conference like this. She can do it there on that mid-range jump shot.
Maria Gakdang does have a size advantage today against Lewis inside. One-point game that has not been more than 5 either direction.
How about that touch pass there from the two big interior players, Syracuse, Kyra Wood finding Lewis. Beautiful extra pass there for the layup.
Gakdang lost the handle. So another turnover, and Fair is out front again. And Syracuse squares its largest lead of the game.
We've talked about it. Each team is so good at turning defense into offense. Several times already, a turnover by BC's led to a runaway layup.
Lacey knocks down the three.
And that's the BC response. That JoJo Lacey already a couple from long range. Last few weeks, she hasn't made those shots with as much regularity.
Woolley on the drive, lefty floater, but got it back and traveled. Just hesitated before putting the ball on the deck.
Good call again by the officials. Let's go back here to Dyaisha Fair. Here's a mid-range pull-up. We were talking about that. She's so good. And then in transition off the turnover, Alaina Rice finding her streaking. The basket for 2. Told you, just 2 points in the first quarter. You figured that that wasn't going to hold for very long.
Fair, who was 4th nationally in points per game last year with Buffalo. Taking Buffalo to the NCAA tournament for the 4th time under Coach Jack in 10 seasons. Back at her alma mater at Syracuse. Not just a Syracuse alma mater, but a Syracuse native. Went to Nottingham High School in Syracuse before playing for the Orange. That's tipped away by Lacey. And the turnover fest continues.
Got 21 combined, Eric. 11 for the Cuse now.
It's been odd. We've obviously seen all these turnovers, but as Lacey pulls up, I feel like a lot of times turnovers lead you to saying sloppiness and bad offense. And okay, maybe the sloppiness piece, but both teams are shooting over 50% despite all these turnovers.
That's exactly it. When you're getting off shots, they're shooting exceptionally well, each side. Problem's been holding on to the basketball to get a shot.
Rice was fouled.
BC didn't like this call. Van Timmeren didn't give Alaina Rice room to land. Let's see. Oh, no, I don't think that was the case. It wasn't with the lower body. Maybe got a piece of the arm.
Yeah, I think just maybe got the hand at the end on the forearm. And Rice to the foul line where she shoots 83% on the season, is up to 8 points now, which ties Lacey for the game high. 29-25 at Syracuse. It's been very close, but the Orange have not given up the lead since the 4:41 mark of the first. Daly got it out to Mayer. Too strong on the three. Gacktang, though, with an offensive rebound and was called for the travel on the way down.
Official just said that they kind of pulled the rug out from underneath the legs of Maria Gacktang. Let's see. Good look for Taina Mayer, just too strong here. Was there contact? There may have been with the leg, and that may have been why Maria Gacktang fell down. I think that probably should have been a foul call.
Bounding ball, Woolley got to it. And a wide open three for Fair. 9 points for the 33% three-point shooter. She was top 10 last year in the country in threes attempted and made. And a similar story for the Orange so far. Coming off her best three-point shooting game of the season, went 6 for 11 from deep against Clemson in the Orange's 91-77 win on Sunday.
And already 7 points, not even midway into the second quarter for Dyaisha Fair.
Mayer was fouled slipping through with 7 on the timer.
Maybe a little fortunate break there. They got Fair on a reach. Gonna be her first foul, but that resets that shot clock. Get it back to 20 after it was ticking down.
Lacey didn't use much of it and just missed on the jumper. Rice on the drive was blocked. Daly affected the shot, and now the Eagles in transition. That never crossed the timeline, so Mayer was able to hang back, but then it's thrown away. We are up to 23 turnovers combined between these two teams. But the offense has been there, especially of late for the Cuse. 32-25 the lead for Syracuse. Going back and looking at a play earlier with JoJo Lacey on this three-point attempt. Maybe came down a little bit awkwardly, and then adding on to that, this was at the end of the last play. A little bit slow to get over to the bench, but she is out there right now and defending against Asia Strong. Here's Hyman on the pull-up jumper, and boy, forget the turnovers, which have obviously been the story, but Syracuse just shooting the lights out of the place.
All of a sudden, they got a 9-point lead. Haven't updated the score on your screen yet. There you go. It's 34-25.
It's a 7-0 run for Syracuse. And here comes Fair once again. Hyman, a deep three is good.
And that was a bit of a mistake there by Taina Mayer. Rarely makes them. She kind of fell for that pass fake and left that great three-point shooter Hyman wide open.
There, important shot in the lane. That ends a 10-0 Syracuse run over the last 2 minutes. Orange are going early and often in the shot clock. Woolley Tough angle. Strong at a piece of the offensive rebound. It ends up down with Gakdang, and then Fair is going to pick up her second foul on the reach-in.
A little bit of a break there. Perhaps that foul was called. Let's go first to the jumper by Hyman coming out of the timeout, and then in transition, this is what I'm talking about. Watch Mayer go for the pass fake, and then you can't give her that much space. Teisha Hyman, one of the better scorers in the ACC.
A lone starter that came back for Syracuse. Bailey short on the three after she was an All-ACC honorable mention last year. And now I think the big thing is she doesn't have to be the focal point of the offense on her own because of the addition of Dyaisha Fair.
It's a really potent backcourt that Coach Leggett-Jack has brought in.
Rice falling away, but was short. Syracuse holding on to the 10-point lead. 2:50 remaining here, first half Conti form. Gakdang got the double team and got the foul.
This is the juncture of the game on Sunday against Florida State. Boston College was really good. They had been sloppy against the Seminoles up to that point. And they ended the first half on a huge run. Just talking about that Syracuse backcourt, though, with Hyman and Fair, they can score it as well as any two guards who combine together, perhaps in this conference.
Gakdang inside, right hand, no. Decent look in the lane. Eagles are just 3 for 10 from the floor here in this second quarter. The Orange 6 for 10. Hyman, 9 to shoot against Lacey, falling away. Eagles have certainly made the shots difficult, especially in the last few sequences, but now have to score their way back in it, and will not on this possession. Woolley was a bit out of control, but an offensive rebound for Lewis, and then a held ball. Possession will stay here, but a good job by Mayer to draw the jump.
I think you're right, Eric. The Boston College defense has really been much better in the last few possessions down the court. They haven't been able to score on the other end.
In fact, Syracuse has not scored in the last 2 minutes and 11 seconds. The Eagles are just 1 of their last 7 from the floor. Cheyenne McEvans, who's in there for the first time. Here's Hyman. Gave it off, but an offensive foul at the end of the pass.
Oh, and that's a really nice play by Maria Gakdang for Boston College, getting her feet set. Otherwise, this is a layup. Yep, she's there. Legal guarding position established. Watch number 5 in white. Planted. Feet outside that restricted arc. Good call by the officials.
So the foul on Hyman. And a foul on the other end.
And I don't think it's a surprise, Eric. You just mentioned Syracuse hasn't scored in a while now, 2.5 minutes. Fair is on the bench. And when Dyaisha Fair goes out, that offense looks a lot different.
So Daly knocks down the free throw, 5 points in the first half.
She doesn't look happy to get a rest.
Yeah.
She just wants to be on the court.
I told you about her minutes played up there in the top of the ACC. Daly got an offensive rebound off the miss and takes it to the bucket for 7 points. And Boston College is back within 7. Wood couldn't hit.
Well
And Syracuse just trying to absorb this right now. With Fair on the bench, Coach Jack trying to get to the half. Lacey, no good for 3, but Daly got another big offensive rebound. Lacey gave it off. Gakdang, yes. So BC has closed back within 5. It's a 7-0 run over the last 3 minutes, corresponding with Fair going to the bench with 2 fouls. Woolley on the drive. No, well off. And then McEvans missed. And BC is back on the run. Mayer pull up. Did not wait for the timer, even with the shot clock off. And Boston College is within 3.
Boy, it's just like deja vu from the end of that first half against Florida State. Eagles doing it again.
Hyman back at it. And an offensive foul.
It's Maria Gakdeng again. Second time during this 9-0 run, and she's doing it on the defensive end. I don't know that I agree with that call.
By the way, it is the 3rd foul on Hyman, and all of them came on this last 4-minute sequence with Fair out of the game. 3 seconds to go. Mayer nearly lost the handle. Got it off. Daly blocked! Warwick-esque to end the half for Syracuse. But what a run for Boston College, scoring the final 9 points of the half to get back within 3.
Yeah, you fall behind by 12. Offense was sputtering. It was the BC defense, especially once Dyaisha Fair went out, that kind of turned this game.
So we get going in this 3rd quarter. 37-34 is the Syracuse lead, and Dyaisha Fair is back on the floor for Syracuse. No surprise there. Now Hyman is off the floor. And not only were those the 3rd foul on Hyman, but remember, it was all in the sequence with Fair off the floor. So when Syracuse did not have both of their guards together, that's what led to some of those fouls for Hyman. See how the Orange operate, though, with Fair back out there. First opportunity. Oh, that's a great pass. Woolley, though, is a little bit short, but then the follow-up is good. So the second chance points for the Orange after the missed layup.
Good start to the half for them, too. Got to stop on one end, get a layup on the other.
Lacey no good from 3, and then, Daly and Wagner colliding together on the offensive rebound attempt. And Wagner no good on the layup.
Boy, Daly took a real shot to the chops from her teammate. Friendly fire. This looked like it threw Dontavia Wagner off a little bit after she hit her own mate. The shot that she put up was well off.
Strong. Had help with Alaina Rice. And an offensive foul called away from the ball on Asia Strong.
It's a good call. Asia Strong not set through her shoulder into the BC defender. Was that first basket of the half off the miss by the Aussie Woolley. Dariauna Lewis really good on the offensive glass. And when they have both Asia Strong and Lewis out there together, this is a very, very good rebounding team.
Lewis, who's averaging 9.7 rebounds per game. Lacey faced a double team, got rid of it, but it was turned over. And Syracuse back the other way. Rice wide open. Transition 3. First in double figures today is Alaina Rice.
That was another possession where it was almost 5 against 4. Lacey was again slow to get back into the play after she had another collision. Left her on the other end of the court.
Lacey for 3 is off the mark. And Boston College now is just 3 of 15 from behind the arc.
0 for 3 to start the 3rd quarter, too. There's the collision. No foul called. Lacey down on the ground as this possession moved to the other end of the court. And Alaina Rice free to fire. 5-0 start to the half for Syracuse. They can add on to it. That's a good look, too.
3 ball, no good. There is a miss by Daly on an open layup. And a held ball gives possession to the Orange.
Well, that miss there for BC kind of encapsulates the way the first 2.5 minutes of this third quarter have gone. They're 0 for 5, Eric, shooting. And the easiest of the bunch right here from Andrea Daly. Good catch. Shot you got to make.
Syracuse has scored the first 5 points of this third quarter. Strong is good. Asia Strong. So Syracuse answers Boston College's 9-0 run to end the half with an 8-0 run of their own to start the third. And Lacey, it's just way off from 3, and this is going back the other way.
Boston College 0 for 6 in the quarter. 4 of them, Eric, have been 3-point attempts now. That's not the strength of the team. Speaking of not the strength, this is not what Asia Strong is known for. I'm sure that was not in the scouting report. Rattled it in.
Yeah, Strong, who came in from Wichita State last year, played at Trinity Valley Community College prior to that. There was a little bit extra after the fact. And they called offsetting technicals at the end of that play. It was Daly for Boston College and Dariauna Lewis for Syracuse. So the officials not letting anything get out of hand, just going with the offsetting technicals, and we play on. Rice has been really good today. 14 points, which is 3 off a career high.
Think about this start to the quarter. Syracuse doing all of this with Teisha Hyman on the bench. 10-0 here in the third.
Dang, pretty good pass to find Van Timmeren once the double team came.
It's more like it, I'm sure. Boston College's coaching staff is thinking, instead of settling for the 3-point shots, time they attack the paint. Good pass to Ali Van Timmeren.
Van Timmeren knocks down the first one, coming off a season-high 12 points against Florida State in the Boston College win on Sunday. Daly got an offensive rebound. There, try to fastball inside, and just too many orange jerseys there. Fair got the dribble in and the 3. 12 for Fair, and it's an orange crush right now in Conti. Mayer trying to answer. Wagner off an offensive rebound. And a big second chance basket for Boston College.
And much needed. First shot that's gone in the quarter for BC. They missed their first 7. Syracuse 13-1 is how the third quarter began.
And now make it 15-3. Lewis has 11. Syracuse has 3 in double figures. Another offensive rebound. Dang gets a third try on this sequence. Van Timmeren inside. Good pass from there.
You know, Boston College is not going to go away. This is a team that has fought from behind several times this season. Syracuse right now is playing its best basketball of the game.
Rice, no good from 3.
Everything crisp, though, isn't it?
Yep.
Even that was a good possession. Ended up in the hands of a very good shooter.
Back over 50% from the floor. Van Timmeren blocked, but a foul. Lewis coming in late. And it sends us to a timeout on the floor. That's the third foul on Lewis, so there is a little foul trouble here for Syracuse to sort out. But the Orange are on a roll right now. 6 of 9 from the floor here in the third.
Eat like a king who's on the budget.
Syracuse in control of this game right now, 52-39 over Boston College. And this has been a little bit of a theme with what we've seen in this third quarter. Syracuse in transition and kind of had a trailer open.
He really would say that sequence right there, Eric, is very emblematic of the way the first 5 minutes of the second half have gone. Boston College just a little bit like a step slow. Made a poor entry pass that time that led to the run out. They don't find one of the best scorers in the ACC in transition there in Dyaisha Fair. Wide open three-point look. But yeah, it was a 13-1 start to the third quarter for Syracuse.
Two at the line for Van Timmeren, who has all 5 of her points here in the third. Pass for Woolley is too high.
It's one of the few, if any, mistakes in the game by Alaina Rice. She's come off the bench and led Syracuse with 14 points, but Eric, that was a pass that she'd like to have back. Too tall to catch. Getting a talking to about it from Felicia Leggett-Jack.
Syracuse has definitely gone deeper down the bench. That's something we've talked about with Boston College, who has been in an injury situation all year, as that putback is good, and still without Deanna Todd right now. Syracuse is 2 players deeper down their bench than Boston College is in this game.
Got Teisha Hyman back on the court, too, for Syracuse for the first time in this second half. BC's got the last 6 points in the game now.
It's the first time we've seen Fair and Hyman on the floor together since early second quarter. Fair is open and was fouled from 3.
She certainly was. It was a closeout from Dontavia Wagner that was just a little too aggressive. See it here. Watch Wagner. She realizes it's a good look for Fair. Flipped her leg as she landed, knocked her to the hardwood. Officials are going to call that every time.
Fair is an 82% free throw shooter. It really is amazing to see the impact that Felicia Leggett-Jack has had on some of these players. Talk about 4 people on her roster at Buffalo last year deciding to come with her to Syracuse.
That just shows what they think about her as a coach and her as a person. You want to make that move really just because of one singular figure.
And Daly fouled underneath.
Boston College getting aggressive on the offensive glass. It was offensive rebound number 12. Second chance points could help them get back into this game.
Daly was the one who kind of sparked the 9-0 run late in the first half, grabbing a couple of offensive rebounds. Trying to spark BC again. She has 9, and the Eagles are within 9 and putting on the full court press and causing a turnover.
Well, I know that Hyman's a good ball handler, but this is not a pickle you want to be in the middle of. Taina Mayer and Dontavia Wagner, 2 of the best thefts in the ACC, sandwiching her right by the sideline and forcing the steal. Kind of feels like the momentum has shifted back, doesn't it?
Certainly has. And Boston College take advantage. Skip pass. And Mayer. Van Timmeren got an offensive rebound. Big third quarter for Van Timmeren. She has 7. Syracuse has not made a shot from the floor in over 2.5 minutes. Hyman For Woolley with 8 to shoot. Hyman got left open and connects. And a quick timeout, Syracuse. What a big time shot for Teisha Hyman.
And with a nifty little assist from the Aussie, JoJo Lacey. Over the shoulder, finding the shooter. And Syracuse reestablishing itself up 10.
Eat like a king who's on.
She was one of the better players in the history of the program. In fact, her number 33 was retired last year while she was still the head coach of Buffalo, as the first women's basketball player to have her number retired at the now called JMA Wireless Dome. And everything that's happened with the Syracuse program over the last couple of years, it was the absolute perfect choice to be able to bring back an alum, a native of the city, to come back and bring this program back to prominence.
Steps there for Gacktang. And you're right, she was the perfect choice. And this is a move that she made, that this is where she ultimately wanted to be. She doesn't have any more steps in her career that she wants to take. She wants to make her alma mater a national championship contender yet again. She's been all over, Eric, including a stop at Indiana.
Yep.
This is home for Felicia, literally and figuratively.
Yep. Hyman, pull up elbow, a little bit short. Yeah, Coach Jack, who has been a head coach now for 21 consecutive years, got the job at Indiana, as you talked about, was fired at Indiana. Was very open when she got the job at Syracuse about how difficult that was, getting fired at Indiana, but then getting the shot at Buffalo and turn the Buffalo program around. 4 NCAA tournaments for a team who had never made one before she arrived. And now down the throughway to Syracuse. Back and forth we go on the turnovers still, though there has not been as many turnovers in this third quarter as we saw early. But you see Syracuse is now 4 players in double figures. They had 5 score in double figures against Clemson. That was the first time that had happened this year.
And they're getting on a pace to get to their season's averages, which is just under 80 points a game coming into the night. They're kind of right there on pace for it if this keeps up.
And a blocking foul called against Syracuse.
Tough call there against Asia Strong. There were stretches in that first half where Syracuse's offense was not clicking very well, but the way they have executed their offense in the third quarter, been able to not only build a double-digit lead, but get that point total up. Figure they're going to be at or near 60 points after 3.
Syracuse, which is the 3rd highest scoring offense in the ACC this year. 57-48. Remember, considering the way this third quarter started, Boston College is on a 13-7 run over obviously an extended period of time since that 13-1 start.
Yeah. Syracuse had a 15-point lead, remember? So if Boston College gets into the 4th, I would say with the deficit in single digits, it has to feel pretty good about the way that this third quarter came to an end. Syracuse still has a minute left in the period to change that.
That was the 3rd foul on Dontavia Wagner. So foul trouble is certainly a little bit of a factor on both sides. Talk about that as we go through. That is Woolley trying to move through and was called, or drew the foul before the potential travel. And an interesting game for Georgia Woolley, the sophomore from Australia, who is just 1 of 10 from the floor, but has still been an important factor with 5 assists.
Yeah, that's a travel there.
Well, she's coming from Australia, so that's a long way to travel, right? You get a little extra leeway.
Yeah. Can't dribble through the entire ocean. She took 2 steps there before the contact.
Woolley, who comes from the same hometown, played at the same AAU program as Tiana Mangakahia, who was a star for Syracuse a couple of years ago.
And what is it, Eric, about basketball players in the ACC from Australia with the first name Georgia?
That's right.
And one here at BC, Georgia Pinot.
And And Timmering off the mark from 3. Gately was trying to guide that offensive rebound to someone, but ended up down with Fair. Floater on the run has Lewis, and Gakdeng read that really well and got the block. Eagles again trying to close the quarter strong. That was deflected off of Syracuse. So it will stay here with Boston College with 12 and a half left in the third.
Again, for the second quarter in a row, Taina Mare, beg your pardon, went with the shot clock turned off for a quick shot. And I think that's a missed call by the officials. It looked like that was off of the hand of Mare. Boston College fortunate to have the possession here, so they again have the chance to hold for a final shot.
The officials have gone over to the scorer's table because a tenth of a second ran off the clock when it was not inbounded. So they will reset the clock back to, should be 12.5 is where we were.
Why has Syracuse pulled open to a 10-point lead here? Third quarter shooting, BC 4 of 17, Syracuse 7 of 12 from the field. That's been the difference.
So down to 12.1 is what they have the clock at now. Eagles can hold. Mare with 5. No good from 3. Rebound down to Syracuse, and a foul with under a second remaining.
Yeah, that's just something that if you have the ball and the shot clock turned off, you can't have this happen. 3-point miss. Now, Gakdeng, Joanna Burnaby-McNamee was claiming she was fouled first before the contact came later on Woolley. That's not the way the officials saw it.
Woolley misses the free throw. Her tough offensive day continues. Neither team made a shot from the floor over the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds of that third quarter. The lead will be 11 for the Orange of Syracuse as we go to the fourth here at Conti Forum. Athletes here at Boston College watching on as BC tries to find a comeback here against Syracuse. They have pretty much trailed going back to 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's been close at times, but Syracuse for the most part has held the lead. Mare pull-up jumper is short. Daly on an offensive rebound. And the Eagles now with 16 second chance points tonight.
That's been their offense, especially here in the second half. Just go get the ball off the rim and put it back up. Andrea Daly able to do it to begin the fourth quarter. Syracuse was fantastic in the third, I thought, especially those first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That was the best stretch either team has played in this game.
After Boston College closed the second on a 9-0 run, Syracuse started the third on a 13-1 run.
Time it's the Orange. Orange getting the second chance opportunity off the miss. JoJo Lacey's been hobbled for a lot of this game. She just checked back in. We'll see how she looks for BC at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Fair pull-up. Fair, who didn't score a ton of points in that third quarter. I think she only had 1 basket in the third, but just being out there made an impact, especially out there with Hyman. Rice again on the drive, and this will go to Boston College.
That was really good defense by BC, and they had to do it for a long time after a couple of offensive rebounds. That possession lasted for a good, 40 seconds? Watch the hands here. JoJo Lacey knocking it right off of Alaina Rice.
Bounded to Mare with a little bit of pressure on from Syracuse. And a 9-point game here in the fourth. Daly got it off Gakdang, up over 2 defenders, and could not get the basket.
Made it really tough, just walled up, did Syracuse there on the interior.
Strong inside, off a great dish from Fair. Fair effort, strong finish.
Teisha Strong having a nice second half. Eric, this fifth-year college athlete is at her 4th different school. And right over Gakdang. Gakdang missed on one end. Strong able to convert on the other.
Fair going to work. Starting to take over a little bit when Syracuse is needed.
I'm sure she's thinking, well, this is my time of the game. Her pedigree is just score it really at any juncture of the contest, but especially late. Won a lot of games for Buffalo by taking over these kind of games.
Honorable mention All-American last year. The MVP of the MAC tournament.
All of a sudden, Syracuse just 2 points shy of matching its largest lead of the night.
It felt like there was a moment where Boston College was going on a little bit of a run, but it never turned into, 9-2 or 7-0 or something like that. I mean, it was kind of just slowly coming back, and now Syracuse has started the 4th well, ended the 3rd well.
Back-to-back BC turnovers, kind of unforced on sloppy passes, have not helped the cause for the Eagles. $19 turnovers apiece now.
Strong inside, no. And then a foul on the rebound. So it got knocked out of the hands of Van Timmeren from behind. So a foul goes against the Orange, and that is the first on Alaina Rice.
Good move there by Dyaisha Strong. Everything but. It's a little too strong off the window. I almost get the feeling, I know there's 7.5 minutes still to go. This is almost a must-score possession for BC. Got to figure out a way to grab the momentum back.
Lacey, big-time shot.
And score they did. Boy, she's confident. Hadn't shot it well here. That time, let it fly.
Fair tried to quickly answer. Long rebound for BC. Important possession. Mayer pull-up jumper. Quick 5 in a row for BC. And the lead down to 8. And they called a technical foul against Teisha Hyman coming up the floor for Syracuse.
Wow. Obviously had something that the official Rod Creech heard from her that he didn't like. What a time to get a technical. You can see there's referee Creech giving the explanation to Felicia Leggett-Jack. You're talking about a 4-year player there in Teisha Hyman. It's a mistake to do that at this juncture of the game.
Two free throws for Mayer. So that's 7 points in a row for Boston College. And the Eagles will keep possession. And by the way, because of the technical, that's 4 fouls on Teisha Hyman.
See what number 4 in orange is so upset about there. It's hard to see. She got kind of tangled up with one of the BC players trying to get a rebound there. Must have, whatever had her irritated must have occurred before that jump shot.
Just a huge sequence. Lacey, somehow it found Wagner. 10 for Dontavia. BC has scored 9 in a row. Fair blocked, but a foul.
How did this pass get through? And Wagner, once it got into her hands, knew how to finish it. Dontavia with her 10th point of the game. Boy, that foul call there on Boston College's Mare, that had just about everybody in a BC uniform. They were irked and then some. Here's the foul call that I'm talking about. That's a tough call there on Mare. And watch head coach Joanna Burnaby McNamee. Take a look at that replay. That did not look like a foul.
So 2 for Fair, and those are 2 huge free throws to stop a 9-0 run. I mean, I don't want to say it felt like this game was over because, there's plenty of time left, so a lot of things can happen. But, it felt like the momentum was really going the way of the Orange. And to BC's credit, they answer again. What a take by Daly. Fair for 3. 2 strong. Mare handoff. Daly. Eagles cycling offensively. Lacey. No good from 3. And then fouled at the end of it. So compounded the miss with the reach.
Boy, and she thought she made it out of her hands. That would have brought the deficit to 1. I actually think that was a good foul, Eric. Syracuse was about to have her runouts. And JoJo Lacey realizing that, team not in the penalty yet, so just gave up the foul to stop the break. This is Daly with that Euro step right to the hoop. Boston College made 4 straight shots before the last 3 hit off the rim.
Fair in the corner. Woolley couldn't handle the pass. Rice did not cross that timeline. Syracuse got to go. Ends up with Strong with 1 on the timer.
And how about the heads up by the senior Dyaisha Fair? She knew exactly how much time was left on the timer and knew she had enough to make that pass to Asia Strong.
Lacey again. This time good. 14 for JoJo Lacey. To her credit, was not shooting well early, but has just continued to shoot and has made a couple of big ones here to start the 4th. First time the Eagles have been within single digits since halftime.
Boston College going into a zone defense here.
Woolley. They have been blocked by Wagner jumping out of the corner 3. Woolley got it back, and for the 2nd possession in a row, Syracuse scores with under 1 on the possession time and a quick timeout for the Orange. Good basketball as this has turned into an excellent finish in Chestnut Hill.
Just the last 3 possessions. How about this? With the timer going down, the presence of mind for Dyaisha Fair to make that pass and Asia Strong to go up 6. But then JoJo Lacey, 2 big threes here in the 4th to cut a 15-point deficit as close as 3. And then this one, BC went zone, Eric, and it's harder to rebound defensively out of a zone. Syracuse got a second chance basket there from Woolley.
They're leading Syracuse with 18. Lacey leading Boston College with 14. Each team has 4 players in double figures. And while there have still been some turnovers in the second half, they certainly have not felt the defining factor that maybe they felt in the first.
This is generally a time of a game where BC likes to get Maria Gakdang involved.
Wagner's going there. Gakdang, yes!
Yep, right on cue. Especially out of a timeout, Eric. We've seen it time and again in the 4th quarter this season from Coach Mack. Good finish for the sophomore.
Again down to a 3-point lead. Rice on the drive, got it over to Woolley. Syracuse has gone much deeper into the shot clock here late in this fourth quarter.
I'd look inside again here. I'm going to go pick and roll with Gakdeng.
Three-pointer was well short.
How about that? Nobody back.
And Dyaisha Fair has 20 points.
That was strange. Yeah, almost had a 2-on-0 breakaway there after the missed jump shot by Boston College.
Let's get past Lacey. Stepped out of bounds.
Well, let's go back to the previous possession. We were just talking about it. Hardly ever see this. Here's a Mare 3, would have tied the game. And then what's happening there in the transition defense? Hard to figure how two Syracuse players could get to the rim like that unmolested.
So the lead is 71-66 for Syracuse. That is out of bounds off the orange. Right back to Gakdeng off a quick sequence. And she draws the foul.
Wow, they just called an out of bounds there.
Oh, wow, they called it clean off of Lewis.
This looks like a lot of body contact.
And that's turned over. Rice caught it clean off the inbounds, and Wagner commits the foul on Fair, and that is the fourth foul on Dontavia Wagner.
It's a turnover, live ball turnover. They lead to runouts. You can see Rice pick off that inbounds play, and certainly a bump there. Like Daly might have been the one who actually was the culprit on the contact, but you said it, Dontavia Wagner picks up the foul. That was a big sequence. BC does not get the foul call when Gakdeng got rejected, and then they turned it over. That's going to lead to 2 points. Yep. She's money in the bank at the foul line is Fair.
22 points. It is the 9th time that she has scored 20 for Syracuse this year. So a mini but crucial 4-0 run for Syracuse. And that pass is turned over. Asia Strong was in the way. And that is 3 empty trips in a row for Boston College. And they have not scored in the last 2 minutes. Lewis, pull up, no. Wagner is fouled.
Not in the bonus yet. So no free throws coming up here for Boston College. Big stop, though, for BC to keep its chances alive. Lewis just rimmed that jump shot out.
That foul went against Woolley, so it is her second. I thought it might have been Lewis, which would have been her fourth, but it's the second on Georgia Woolley. Wagner driving, short on the runner. Not a bad look. And probably the best one of this late sequence for BC. It just did not go.
Those have been shots that over the last few weeks she's been hitting with regularity. Not so much tonight around the rim for Dontavia. See Syracuse killing some clock here.
Woolley on the drive is fouled.
Everything that Coach Jack would have wanted out of that possession. Took about 25 seconds off the clock. Ran a good play here. Watch Fair finding Woolley on the curl. Undercut going up by JoJo Lacey. Good call by the officials.
So Woolley again, who has had to work for her points today, just 2 of 13 from the floor. But 7 points, 5 assists, now 8 points. And a timeout taken with 57 seconds remaining in the fourth. We're back in 30 seconds here from Conti Forum. We've tried to instill a blue-collar mentality with her team, and they have, with Syracuse, had the hard hat player of the game, which is the player who does kind of those intangibles, those picking up loose balls, causing turnovers, playing really good defense, rebounding on the offensive end. Whoever has the most of those in the game is tracked by assistant coach Sue Ludwig, gets the hard hat, and Syracuse trying to earn it today. But it is JoJo Lacey for 3, and the Eagles not willing to hand out a hard hat yet.
You got a foul now under 50 seconds. It is the bonus for Syracuse, so Rice will get a couple. How about the three-point shooting, though, in this fourth quarter from JoJo Lacey? 3 of her 5 made triples in the game coming here in this fourth quarter comeback bid. Here's one of the hard hat candidates for the night. Alaina Rice coming off the bench with 15 big points.
A free throw here would tie her season high. That's out of bounds. It will stay here. And Rice is just 2 points shy of her career high, which is 17.
Yeah, the officials are going to review this. You can do it, of course, the final 2 minutes of a game. The initial call, as you said, Syracuse ball.
We have orange ball on the floor. We're going to go to the review to make sure.
Oh, what a game it's been for Alaina Rice, the senior, in her second year with Syracuse, and she was a spark off the bench from the jump.
Yep, that opening quarter came off the bench. She started to get into the act offensively immediately. And Rice was a big reason that Syracuse had the lead at halftime. And then some of the big key players like Dyaisha Fair have stepped it up here in the second half. 15 points, though, for a player who's been at 3 different colleges in her career. A lot of well-traveled orange on this roster. Officials are still looking at the replay.
Call on the floor is confirmed. Orange ball.
So it will stay with Syracuse. You know, we have seen, it was basically 3 sequences in a row. Boston College had opportunities on all of them. 1 or 2 turns over, and then you had that layup try by Wagner, which just did not go. Syracuse is taking advantage on the other end, trying to hold on to the lead. Got a good inbounds. Boston College will likely have to foul, and Mayer does. Eagles are in the penalty, so Syracuse back to the line with 42.2 to go. The Orange are 16 for 20 from the stripe tonight.
And this player, Fair, she is 8 of 9. I think she missed her first one attempt at Eric and has hit 8 in a row. I'll take the credit for that, or blame, depending on which side of the ledger you're on here tonight. They got some good free throw shooters, though, on this roster that can help put away a close game late. And none better than this young lady.
Got 1 of 2 at the line, 23 points for Dyaisha Fair. The lead is 8 for Syracuse. Oh, what a fun night of basketball it has been tonight. Our ACC women's basketball coverage will continue on Sunday across our ESPN family of networks, starting at noon with Boston College taking on Virginia, and then number 7 Notre Dame on the road at the JMA Wireless Dome to take on Syracuse. Those are both on ACC Network. Our ACC Network triple header concluding with Duke and Georgia Tech at 4, but don't miss NC State and number 22 North Carolina at 3:30 on ESPN. NC State, who is still ranked 11th in the country, but at last check, playing against Florida State today, was down quite a bit to the Seminoles. So North Carolina State really facing tough times for the first time in quite a few years in Raleigh.
You know, the Syracuse team, which looks like it's on the cusp of a third consecutive win. Not on anybody's radar to be near the top of the league coming into the season. It's just such a competitive conference, top to bottom. Here's where they stand in the top 25 this week. 5 of the top 22 in the country, headed by Notre Dame.
Seminoles, by the way, did in that game 91-72 over NC State. So Wolfpack facing a little bit of struggles. Remember, they only won by 2 at Syracuse, then lost at home to Boston College. Back here, 39 seconds to go. Out of the Eagles' timeout, it's Lacey, who was fouled.
And that was Alaina Rice challenging the jump shot. The time of the game with an 8-point lead. Just got to play good defense without fouling. Got a piece of the arm. 3 free throws here. Boston College needs them.
Must makes for this 72% free throw shooter who's at 17 points tonight. Season high 22 for JoJo against BU. So 36.9 to go. And you figure Boston College will have to foul. So 2 of 3. And the Eagles, a timeout called by Syracuse. So the Eagles trying to put a trap on. Syracuse does get the timeout with 34.6 to go, which will advance the ball into the front court with Syracuse up by 6. Orange will return home, as we talked about, to take on Notre Dame. And then we'll be on the road at Georgia Tech. And at number 16, Duke is on the horizon for the Orange.
You know, these are 2 teams that were not expected, didn't have much expected of them, at least if you look at the preseason poll. Syracuse picked 10th, BC 13th. They have far exceeded any of those expectations. And look what Syracuse is doing. There's the upcoming schedule you talked about. It's still some rough games with 7th-ranked Notre Dame coming to town Sunday. It'll be difficult, but Eric, if this holds, they're going to be 8-2 since the start of December. And that is an immediate impact on this program made by Coach Leggett-Jack.
A team that won 11 games last year and finished just 4-14 in the ACC.
Got a foul. Got a foul.
And there it is from Lacey.
Had a chance to give it earlier. Now you got Fair going to the line, who's been pretty much automatic.
Boston College has got to be really careful here down the stretch, obviously trailing, so you got to get the fouls no matter who it is. But their main 5 players all have 3 fouls or more. Lacey and Wagner have 4, Daly, Mayer, and Gakdang all with 3. But if Fair makes her free throws, it's not going to matter. Up to 25 points in the game, 11 of 13 from the line for Dyaisha Fair. It's 79-71, Syracuse the lead over Boston College. We'll be on the road at Virginia and at Louisville for the next 2.
This is
Return home against Clemson, but kind of a stretch of road games after Boston College basically spent the entire month of December here on the Heights.
I beg your pardon. Yeah, last home game for 10 days for BC. Proved they could win a game on the road last time at NC State. We've talked about how monumental of a victory that was for this program. And now they got 2 in a row coming away from the friendly confines of Conti Forum. That UVA game, of course, on the ACC network at noon on Sunday. And UVA, they got a 13-3 record.
Mayer, 3-pointer, a little bit short. Teisha Strong has the rebound and another foul. And Strong will come down the other end of the floor and should just about be able to ice it.
Well, Syracuse had a 15-point lead early in this fourth quarter. BC got as close as 3. In fact, they had a shot to tie it, but it's been the contributions of Dyaisha Fair that's helped seal this one. "25 points to lead the way. Some big plays, both passing, shooting, hitting free throws in the closing minutes from Fair. Looks like Syracuse is going to hold on.
It's a 12-5 Syracuse run since the Eagles' most recent time cutting it to 3. Though a foul here late will send Boston College back to the foul line. That is the 4th foul on Lewis.
I think that we're talking about BC getting back within 3. Maybe the biggest play after the Eagles had cut that deficit. It was a 67-64 game. And then 69-66 about a minute later. And BC turned it over, and Fair got a breakaway layup. It was actually not a turnover. That was the one where the shot was missed. It was an air ball that turned into the breakaway layup. That kind of started this game-ending run, Eric.
2 of 3 at the line. That is out of bounds. It will go to Syracuse with 13.6 to go.
Officials
and the officials will look, which they can do in the last 2 minutes. So with 13.6 to go, it's an 8-point lead for Syracuse.
We have Syracuse ball on the floor, players under review.
Here's what the officials are looking at.
Oh, yeah, if it's still on her hands right there, looks like is pretty clearly out off of Boston College.
Call is confirmed on the floor. Syracuse ball.
And a quick review. Hardy likes to get him in and out fast. And he did.
I think Coach Leggett-Jack is going to be very impressed by the moxie of her team here today after BC came with that counter punch in the fourth quarter. The way that they've been able to put in the finishing touches of what's going to be another road win, 2 in a row. That's impressive to do that in conference.
That old cliche of learning how to win in games like this. Orange get the job done. 81-73 the final. And Syracuse is 13-4 and has matched its ACC win total from last year.
Fun game here tonight. A couple of ACC rivals going back and forth. There's